state news here and news in state. Good Jobs program. Been around now for a little while. This was highly touted. We've done numerous segments on it. There's a price tag on it, but the proponents of this say, look, this program, with the help of a lot of stakeholders, I mean, it's a long list, has brought in and made a difference of billions of dollars in our state and created more than 8,000 jobs. It sounds good. Not everybody thinks it's a good idea. And maybe just the process for how this is put together and the money funnels through. One of those would be Tony Daunt with the Michigan Freedom Fund. He's on the other end of our line right now. Morning, Tony.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So, good jobs. I'm guessing you're not against good jobs themselves, but the Good Jobs program you're not a fan of. How come?
Well, and you are correct. And they did a beautiful job naming this thing so that when you talk about it, it almost sounds like you're against good jobs, but that's not the case. And there's a number of reasons why we are opposed to this, and many other folks are opposed to this. This is one of those issues where people on both the right and the left kind of come together, and they may have a little bit of different reasons on why they oppose this program, but ultimately it's because of the unfairness and because of the revenue that is foregone to a select few large corporations, and the lack of transparency in how these things are put together and what these deals entail. And
is this about government picking winners or losers at the high end? And usually that's something that small government conservatives are not in favor of.
Absolutely, that's exactly right. And we people like us at the Freedom Fund and others, we like the idea of the government taking less of our money, whether it's a corporation or a small business, a large corporation, a small business, or us as individual taxpayers. But it should be fair and it should be broad-based and across the board. It shouldn't be targeted at a few large corporations who have the connections and the lawyers to go through this process of putting these deals together.
But, Tony, they say, and I know Mackinac Center joined you in opposition on this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you said on the left, too. Who on the left doesn't think it's a good idea? Do you have any other?
Well, there were certainly some strong questions from Senator McMorrow,
all right,
who from Southeast Michigan.
Okay.
And she kind of signaled some distaste for this. Senator Stephanie Chang back in 2017 was a vocal opponent.
All right.
And even some people, national figures like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are very much opposed to these types of programs. And again, I think they probably don't like it because they want to have the money so that they can spend it. We may want
okay.
We want that money that can be provided back to the broad base of taxpayers. But we can't have that argument until we stop giving these special breaks. And I think we need to put a stop to that and then have the argument about, do we put more into services, do we spend more, or do we provide it back to taxpayers?
Well, I could see you and Bernie getting together over Tony, I agree with you on this, and we're going to use this money together to get it done, but not for these companies. And you'll be like, okay, no, I don't know about that. Look, they say it's performance-based. If there aren't any jobs provided, they don't get the incentives, and that's it. But they say the safeguards are built, and that's what makes it different than other, basically pay-to-play kind of programs that sometimes they work, sometimes they haven't in the past. Is that fair on their part?
I think it's fair to point out that they, in some ways tried to learn the lesson of the mega credits, which are still paying for those. Several $1 billion. I think it's like $6 billion we still need to pay out on those through 2032. And this idea that, we've fixed those things. Mega didn't start out as this travesty of a cash handout either. And what happens with these programs is as other states up the ante on what they're willing to give out, as the economy falters, which inevitably it will, these programs are used as kind of political handout tools.
And then we got to keep up with the Joneses, is what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Scratching and clawing at everything to try and retain jobs, and it's proven to be economically unfeasible, and it doesn't work. And again, if we want to have a competitive economic environment, let's talk about lowering the tax rate across the board and making it apply to everybody, not just these select few.
Now, you've had interesting dealings so far with the Attorney General's office, and you were brought up, interestingly, kind of amusingly, in terms of a FOIA conference that was going on. And I think at some point the AG said that they get a FOIA from you about three times a week? Are you busy filing FOIAs?
And that was what was so bizarre was a couple of people who were there had alerted me to the fact that she said, we take every FOIA we receive seriously, even you, Michigan Freedom Fund, who sends us a FOIA every 2 days. And so I thought, gosh, I'm pretty sure we've only sent one FOIA. So I checked with my team, and we've only sent one. We had to narrow it down, so technically we sent two. And we had to narrow it because they wanted to charge us $14,000 for the information we were requesting. So,
in fairness, I don't know about the dollar figure, whether that's fair enough, but you were asking for a high volume of info. You wanted all the emails, right?
Sure. This is information the public's entitled to, and we were seeking information on how the Attorney General communicates with her senior staff and how they communicate with her, and how they make the decisions that they make.
Are you going to get those? Are you going to get those emails, and are they in the pipeline or what?
I just got to finish getting the check cut, and then we're paying for it, so we better get the information.
Well, you said 14. What's that going to end up costing Freedom Fund?
It's $3,500 is what they're looking to charge us, and what's shocking about this. And I don't think it's exclusive to the Attorney General's office, because the same thing has happened with the Secretary of State's office for a FOIA we filed. It's like $80 to search and get the emails that we've asked for, but it's the big bucks, it's the tens of thousands, it's the $3,500 to go through and see which of the stuff can be redacted,
attorney-client privilege, all these things, if they're being represented, etc. Tony Daunt, Michigan Freedom Fund. You can find him online at Freedom Fund. I think Michigan Freedom, right, Tony?
MichiganFreedomFund.com, sir.
All right. Thanks for being here today. 1320 Morning Wake Up, WILS.